Welcome back to one of your favorite podcasts to listen to every single week for about 93 weeks straight and counting. It's the Funny Business Podcast. I am Mike Gambita, and alongside with me is my best friend, who I miss so much, my roommate for life, Mr. Matt Summers. Matt, I missed you, man. How are you, buddy? It feels like we haven't talked in forever.
I know, it has feel like we haven't talked in forever. I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well, too. Hope everyone's enjoying their Friday. We've made it another week. It's time to crack open a cold one. Enjoy this podcast, unless you're at work. You know what? Screw it. Just crack it. You know what? I'll talk to your boss. Not your boss, Mike. The listeners. I'll talk to your boss, and I will get them to allow you to have one beer at work while you listen to the podcast.
And the wise words of Trent, unless you're a simp and want to drive to your girlfriend after the recording of this podcast.
Trent did not say that. There's no shot he said that. There is no shot.
I will let him know. I will file a claim to the HR department. So,
what claim is there?
I don't know.
I'm doing the podcast first.
It's on our online form. I don't know. You know,
you know what? We should do that, like with his email, like make like an online like HR complaint form where we just fill out file, and he gets a notification every time.
I feel like he would ignore all of them, like any great HR department. So.
Right. And that means he's doing his job.
Yeah, exactly. He's getting paid. He's getting paid the highest amount out of all of us, and he's not doing his job. So, Matt, what the heck, man? How is everything? I feel like I was just so disconnected with you this past week, and I feel like a very attached girlfriend wanting to like be like, Matt, what happened? I missed you. Were you with another girl? Were you doing something? Like
it's been a crazy past couple of days. Saturday, I helped April and her family tear up their living room floor.
That's something new I didn't hear.
Yeah. Kind of happened last minute. But we were tearing up the subfloor.
Okay.
I felt like an 80-year-old man again. Back was really sore. But I'll tell you, it's not doing home construction is not like the worst thing in the world.
Oh, dude. I think I shared this last week on the podcast. Jenna pointed out that talking about mascots, I've already brought up in the podcast, but dude, we've been doing this for almost 2 years now.
We're going to repeat something.
We're going to repeat some stuff.
I repeat something every episode. It's fine.
So it feels like every weekend now, it's like construction day. Like you throw on the Home Depot music and you're ready and you're off to work. So Matt, you know the couch that's in my apartment? The beautiful new couch. Yep. So it has legs. And I've never had tools to fix or actually install the legs. So I managed to actually install the legs on the couch. It's a little bit higher, but it actually looks like a working couch now and not like some weird college couch that somebody decided to throw on in their room. Installed a nice little hook so that way I can have my belts all laid out, because I've noticed if I keep them on the pants, they tend to actually deform, I guess is the best way to call it. So yeah, we're just learning as we're going along here. But yeah, dude, construction, man, it's something to do in the weekend. Like that's the only time you have to do it. So
I don't mind it. You know, it gives us a little dad in training session for our future.
Sure.
But we blasted some rock music and tore up the floor pretty quickly. Actually, it was not bad.
Any John LeJour?
No John LeJour.
Oh, no. Damn it. Okay.
No, maybe next time.
Okay.
I don't know if they're quite ready for that. I don't know if I'm ready to listen to him again, for being completely honest. And then the past couple days have been interesting. I'll get into it briefly. I was going to save some of it for the end of the show.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I did have a colonoscopy. The good news is that it went well.
Great.
The only scary news, not really scary news, but like, so what happened Mike already knows. I think I told him this.
Yep.
So for the listeners out there, so I woke up about, I want to say like 45 minutes after my procedure, and I was really tired, like very groggy. They're like, how you feel? I'm like, fine, just tired. They're like, oh, okay. Well, we had some trouble waking you up from the anesthesia. And I'm like, I just woke up. Can you give me like 10 minutes before you just dropped that news on me? So Mike, I don't know if I was out like an extra 3 minutes or if I was out like an extra 20 minutes. They never told me how long it took me to wake up, which is a little nerve-wracking. Not that like in the sense that I was dead, like I wasn't. However, I would just like to know for the future, am I going to have this problem again? that was a little scary to hear.
Now, I do have to say, Matt, you did not that you did jinx yourself, but you kind of did jinx yourself saying it was a really good nap last week's show.
I will say, it felt like I was out for like 2 days. Like when I woke up, I was like, is it still Monday? Like what the hell? I thought I was out of it. They actually told me, they kicked me out in like 10 minutes after I woke up too.
Oh, you mean the anesthesia? Like they kicked you out. Okay.
Once I woke up out of the anesthesia, I was out of the office in like 10 minutes. They're like, oh, you can get up and get changed. I couldn't stand. I was trying to put my sweatpants on. I could not stand. I don't even know how I walked out of the place.
Yikes.
No idea.
Now, was it kind of like a fall asleep and wake up immediately? Or like, did you kind of feel like you went to sleep and it had all those things?
No, I felt like I went to sleep. I feel like I had a dream, but I can't remember what the dream was. No, it felt like I was out for a long time.
Interesting.
Which hasn't happened in the past because I've usually felt like, yeah, it's just like a blink of an eye. It's like, oh, hey, I'm up again.
So the only time I've ever had anesthesia is for my wisdom teeth. And I remember it was kind of like a blink of an eye. But what's really funny was like, I remember like my first, like with my wisdom teeth for my anesthesia, I'm like, okay, like I'm going to get the anesthesia and I'm going to be knocked out. Just keep breathing. Like you'll get knocked out. So they put the nose thing over you first. And it's like, okay, like I'm waiting for it. And then they inject you. And then that's when you're out. Like you can't fight that at all. And then that's when you get knocked out. But Matt sent me a snap. I don't know if you remember this because you're so groggy, but Matt sent me a snap on Monday. And the best way to describe it, folks, is he looked like he got back from a gym, but he literally worked out so much that he looked so sweaty and his hair was all messed up that he was laying forward. He's like, I'm okay.
Yeah, no, I was in rough shape. I was even in rough shape yesterday, the day after, for most of the day. I'll get into that later for the end of the show. But the good thing is that everything went well. And I don't have to do it for another 3 to 5 years.
Oh, that's good, man. That's amazing.
Absolutely.
Welcome
Love to
back.
see it.
Welcome back, everybody, to episode 235. Mike got his first colonoscopy, and we're here to review it. Let's say you start a podcast, or you're running your own side hustle and have a bunch of links that you want your audience to know about. As a podcast, Matt and I have all of our social media, all of our podcast links, and other important things. Make it easier for your followers to find your important links, social media, and latest content by having it all in one page with solo.to. I'll be honest, I've used similar websites like this, but nothing compares to solo.to. All of your links are clean and easy to navigate. Have an upcoming video? It's really easy to make those changes. Plus, solo.to has opportunities to upgrade to include more customization, advanced analytics, and so much more. Solo.to is giving us a special opportunity for you to get 10% off if you create an account and upgrade. Be sure to go to solo.to/funnybusiness to create your account today. Yeah, I guess the best thing that happened to me these past couple, I don't want to say couple of weeks, but the past couple of days, was that I decided to watch the whole season of Too Hot to Handle in like 24 hours. So I don't want to say I'm very proud about it, but I think I stayed up till about 2:30 in the morning when it was first released. So Matt, I know everything. So I will try not to spoil it. But I can tell you, man, I feel like we gotta catch up once you watch it. But I will say, I am very happy you're watching Boba Fett, the Book of Boba Fett, right now.
So I have watched one episode of Book of Boba Fett, and I think this is the best season yet of Too Hot to Handle.
Oh, you watched it?
Most of it.
Shut up.
I started it with started it with April. I think we're on episode 7 or 8. It's like we'll save it for when we actually talk about it. I love this season.
Oh, right.
I love it. This might be my favorite season yet.
I went to work the next morning and I'm like, they're like, you okay? And I'm like, well, I said I stayed up till 2:30 to watch a show, and they're like, oh, what show? And I'm like, I really don't want to tell you.
No, that's the one show that you can't tell people what you binge watch, because then it's like, really? Are you kidding me?
What episode are you on? Do you remember?
I think 7 or 8. So we're close.
You're getting there, man.
I can't wait.
Oh, I'm so ready. So, well, Matt, I thought we would jump into a little fun, little mind-bending session we're about to have. A couple episodes ago, we did what we called kids questions. It is where kids just ask questions, and we try to answer the best we could as far as these kids' questions. It may be the completely right answer, or it could completely be the wrong answer. But the matter of fact is that these kids are getting their questions answered, and they have a reason, and they have a why, or a what, or a maybe, or a who, or whatever it may be. Matt and I are here as a Funny Business podcast, because we're literally the only two people on the Funny Business podcast, to answer these questions. Matt, are you ready?
I'm ready. I love this. It's kind of like that thing on Google. It's like people also ask, and it's just like random ask questions. I love them.
So, Matt, the first question that I want to ask you, that was asked by a kid, what do you think the edge of the universe looks like?
I see a beach.
Me too. That's what I was thinking.
Because like you think about like the edge of like the land is the beach with water. So like the edge of the universe is like a beach with maybe like a giant waterfall.
I could see this like this, so like you were saying, like a beach, like the ocean and like the horizon of the ocean, but like replace the sky with like these gigantic like cosmic, like you see pink, purple, you see these large, I'll call them stars, because I don't think there's, as far as we know, there's any other planets outside of the edge of the universe, but who knows? But like I see like these amazing colors. I'm trying to think what's the best way to give you an example. It's kind of like
Tatooine.
Not with the double sun, yes, but I'm more thinking of like Starry Nights by like Vincent van Gogh.
Okay.
Like that castle scene with like the little swirls in the clouds, but like bright colors, pink, purple, green, what else? Red, yellow. All these fun colors.
Yeah, like one of the best suns, like the most unique sunset you could think of. Kind of. Yeah.
Have you been getting some banging sunsets coming out of work?
Yeah, we have. It's been awesome. I haven't been able to like take photos of it, but like people in the area have been taking photos left and right. People have been getting awesome sunsets.
Yeah. I follow a couple of accounts that are down by your area, like some tourist areas, and I've seen some really good photos, and it's been good.
I don't know why. It's been like the past like couple weeks, like you said, it's been crazy.
Matt, next question. Every kid deserves to know this question. Why do grown-ups like beer? Do you think, Matt, people are tired of hearing our Anchor ad?
Yeah, probably. But let's be honest. If it wasn't for Anchor, we would not be doing a podcast.
You're right, Matt. Once again, we have to thank Anchor for helping us continue to make each episode. Y'all know how it works. Anchor is free. It's easy to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer, and distributes your podcast to platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and more.
And you all know that you can make money too, even with the first couple episodes that you start with.
So why haven't you started your own podcast yet? Anchor is everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app today, or go to anchor.fm to get started. That's anchor.fm.
So Mike, when do you think we'll stop talking about Anchor?
Oh man, Matt. You know what? To be completely honest, I think we'll be talking about this for a long time.
That's a great question, because like not all beer really tastes good.
Some taste like water.
Right. Like even like we drink Miller Lite. I like Miller Lite. Does Miller Lite like
Sponsor
taste
us?
that good? Right. Sponsor us, please. But like, would I say I drink Miller Lite for the taste? No.
No.
So why do adults like beer? It gives us a little pep in our step.
Sure.
No. Yeah.
Pep in our step, but we tend to skip a step because we're trying to keep our balance.
Right. Yeah, it's just something like it's a nice thing to have after a long day.
You know what, Matt? I completely agree with you. I think that's a beautiful way to say it. But kids, wait till you're 21 to drink, because
yes,
yeah, you shouldn't. Yeah,
and don't drink for Logo.
No, don't. That just tastes like pure gasoline.
Yeah, that is pure gasoline. That's what we drank.
I was never out of the group that had a sip. So
you had Four Loko.
Did I?
Yeah, absolutely.
When?
Absolutely.
When?
2 words. Road soda.
No, I did not have it. I did not.
Absolutely.
No, I did not.
Mike,
No
stop
way.
lying to yourself right
Was
now.
I really that drunk that didn't know what I had for Loco?
Absolutely.
Ew.
Not often. Once in a while.
Never.
No, it did happen.
Okay, fine. I'll take your word for it, Matthew.
Well, you should.
As long as you weren't the DD that night, I will take your word for it.
I was not.
Not that it's ever been. That's not that it's ever been in question as to whether or not somebody's okay to drive. We've always had a plan. Always have a plan. Pick a designated driver or call an Uber.
This also just made me realize. Remember the last time I had a colonoscopy?
Was it during your undergrad?
Yeah, it was. It was senior year, and then that night I went to Redano's.
You did. I remember that.
Uh-huh. Probably not doctor recommended to go out to a bar the night after a colonoscopy. And I certainly don't recommend doing it, but I did. Right. So let's clap it up.
Can you believe just how, I guess, like, no regard to, like, I wouldn't say our health, but just, what's the best way to call it? Like,
no regrets.
No regrets. Like we're the Millers. No regrets. Like, just the, yeah. I'll leave it at that.
Carefree.
Perfect. Carefree. That's using a good old noggin up there.
Yep.
Matt.
Yeah.
Next question from a kid. What's your favorite hat?
My favorite hat would have to be, I'm looking at my hats right now. I got a Yankees hat that I got in spring training right before COVID. It's got like a flower like brim.
Okay.
And it's got like a purple and like green logo. It's pretty sick.
Nice.
It's a good beach hat. Yeah.
My favorite hat would have to be my bucket hat. You know the bucket hat that I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I
feel like I need a bucket hat.
Target. That's where I got mine.
Oh, good call.
Yeah, go to Target. There's I remember it being in stock. Yeah. Just pass the clearance and just go right back. It's in the men's section. Like, so I knew it was like meant for men. But like, it's the best thing ever. Like, you look, number one, you look totally chill. Like, you're just having a good time in a long time. The additional thing is that it is a form of sunscreen. So that way, when, you know, you're walking around, like, it not only covers your face, it also covers your shoulders. I love, like, I hope to have that hat for quite some time, but if not, I hope to get the same exact hat like that one.
Yeah, no, I feel like bucket hats are really cool. I don't think I own one. But I think it's like a beach necessity. Like, at some point in your life, you will become a bucket hat guy.
Yeah.
And I think you've entered that stage. I think I'm entering that stage.
You are? Matt, we'll go shopping for matching bucket hats. How about that?
We should get funny business bucket hats.
Let's see what our merch team can do.
Right. Just work your magic.
I'll call up my merch team and see if we can get... Dude, that'd be so freaking cool.
Could you imagine?
I can. It would, unfortunately, I think would have to be like, not like straw like mine is. And I think that's like kind of my kicker is like, if it's not kind of like a straw or like a woven bucket hat, I'm a little on the fence about it. Like, I actually, Matt, I don't know if you know, I do have an extra bucket hat. But it's like short brimmed and it's like this, I don't know, it's this like fabric of some sort. Yeah. It doesn't fit my hat. It doesn't fit my head.
Well, that's a problem too.
Big head. Anyway, big brain. Matt, the next question.
Yeah.
How much time does it take for a muon to electromagnetically attach to a proton?
7 seconds.
We're going to move on to the next question. Matt, why are dreams always so weird?
You know what? I feel like dreams are so weird because one, half the time, not half the time, like 80% of the time, I don't remember them, like as soon as I wake up. But also, two, it's kind of weird to think that your brain can make you picture what you see with your eyes when your eyes are closed. And like, it's like an exact replica of a person or of a place or of a certain thing. And it's kind of freaky to think about, like, your brain's that good that when your eyes are closed and you're asleep, it can make you see things that you see in life. That didn't even make sense.
Like a dream.
Yeah.
So here's something that's not a kid question, but Matt, typical dad response when somebody says, "How are you?" The response would be,
Living the dream.
"Living the dream." What type of dream is that then?
The American dream.
And what's that?
I think it's whatever you want it to be.
Okay.
I think your dream is just. I think it's just like when you say living the dream. I think it's a dream of like a goal. It's like a fancy goal in life. That's your dream. Your
Makes
dream
sense.
goal.
Have you ever had like real life dreams? Like dreams that like are in your room?
No.
Okay. I guess I'm the weirdo here.
You have some dreams.
Yeah, I do. Matt being a roommate, he knows.
I can confirm.
Oh, Matt, that's why you're my roommate for life.
Absolutely.
Now poor Jenna has to deal with it.
God bless her soul.
There was the one time, and I know she'll be okay with me sharing this. I actually was pushing her away.
Oh.
And I said, "Get away from me."
Oh no.
Jenna was
were you
like,
in the doghouse?
What? No, well, technically my apartment. So there was no doghouse to be found in that apartment, Matt. It was the previous apartment before I got here. But she's like, Mike, stop. Mike, stop. What are you doing? It's like, as soon as I woke up, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
That's awkward.
Yeah, I tend to, I gotta relax like 2 hours before I go to bed because like my brain is just so wired that like I need to like unwind, relax, take care of myself.
I feel like that's good advice for everybody. You just gotta unwind before bed so you get a good night's sleep.
Reading a book is always a good thing too, if you can. Oh, shut up. You're the one who's not in a book club, okay?
That's facts.
But yeah, I watching a movie instead of working on a podcast or doing work or whatever.
Just anything.
Anything. Yeah, really, anything.
Scroll through Twitter for 10 minutes.
See, that's another thing. Like staying off your phone is another
Stay
thing
off your
too.
phone, right. Maybe if it's like the process, like you're shutting down for the night, check Twitter, get off your phone, and then do something else quick.
Yeah. No, you're right. Because typically you tend to stay up and watch the TikTok a lot. Usually the most amount of TikToks that are sent via Snapchat are in the hours between 11 and 1:30 a.m. between Matt and I.
Correct.
So yeah, just unwind everybody before you go to bed. And or like if you have like a nighttime routine, so like I always make my lunch and then I always have to do like my face, you know, because this face ain't good by itself, you know. But like do my face routine, brush my teeth, and then like that's a good way to settle down too, is doing not screen time, like not having screen time, but just allowing that time to do that. I've go off king. Sleepy
Absolutely.
King. Matt, the last question.
Yeah.
Why in the olden days did people have so many kids?
That's a good question. I don't know. Or I was going to say a really weird statement. I'm not going to make that statement.
Everybody was bored? No.
Horny.
Horny? Okay. Ooh, Matt. Someone's watching a little too hot to handle. I have the perfect response to this. People in the olden days had so many kids because they knew that eventually those kids would be able to say, "Okay, boomer."
Yeah. No, that's actually, that's probably what happened.
They knew. What do you think ours is going to be when we become the end of the spectrum?
Oh, man.
Millennials.
I don't even know.
A million? Kind of.
Maybe. I don't know. Because who would have thought that boomer would have been the thing, or like Karen would have been a thing?
Karen.
Yeah. I don't even know.
I'd be really intrigued to find out.
It's going to be something. Do you think we'll get mad at it, though? What if it's something that like hits close to home?
That's a great question. I think personally, because we grew up in the technology age, like the boomers didn't really they've had to integrate their life technologically a little bit more than we did while we grew up with it. But I think we would kind of be somewhat more aware than like everybody. Like you tell somebody, okay, boomer, and somebody's like, what do you mean? And, it's like, okay, again, you're really a boomer. But something like us, like we'll probably find it on the internet and then we'll be like, oh, okay. Like it's a trend that we call like just saying we're old. Okay, fine. Like I think that's why, because boomers, hot statement. Boomers are technologically out of touch, a majority of them. And that's what is in part with that, because they don't see the trends that happen within that.
Right. But who knows what technology we'll have when we're older that we didn't have now, and we'll be out of touch, and then we'll be upset with that stuff.
Do you guys remember the cell phone?
Yeah, right. What if we don't use cell phones in like 40 years?
Telepathy.
Yeah. Or like the multiverse.
Well, it's kind of scary because Meta's already starting off. So
true.
The metaverse, my bad.
Yeah.
Metaverse. That stuff.
Same thing.
NFTs, crypto, that all good stuff. So
I guess there was a big crypto crash.
I haven't heard about it. But whoops.
I don't know. I don't understand any of it.
I don't either.
I wish I did. I not that I wish like I was in the process. I just wish I could understand it.
My dad I spent an hour talking to somebody about crypto, but then I spent another hour because then my dad was being explained to it by another person too. So 2 hours worth of talking about crypto. I was like, okay, now I'm like,
yeah, I'd rather have those 2 hours of my life back.
And I'd rather have the money to invest in my 401k.
That makes sense to me.
So that was kid questions. If your kid listens to this podcast, I'm sorry. But if your kid has questions, you can send it in, tag us on our social media, and we will be able to answer those questions.
Yeah. Speaking of your 401k, what are you going to buy? What are you going to buy with your 401k?
It's a great question. Probably groceries. I'd say mostly time to relax.
Yeah, like a beach house.
I'd say more vacation than anything.
Vacation to the beach house.
Okay, sure.
Right.
What about you, Matthew?
Well, let's figure out what else we can buy and what we can sell. Maybe in the little stock market. Let's get into some buy or sell. Mike, I will allow you to go first with your buy and sell.
All right, we'll go with sell first.
Okay.
I'm going to sell cancel culture.
Oh, here we go.
Keep it short and sweet. I think anybody who is trying to do cancel culture doesn't understand the actual repercussions of cancel culture. In addition to that, with cancel culture, in most cases with cancel culture, you are defining somebody's career or experience based on one thing that they did. And we all make mistakes. We really do. And some mistakes are justified and some mistakes are not. In most cases, I think, in my honest opinion, safe space somehow turned into say what?
Okay, go for it.
I completely forgot my train of thought, but in most cases, those things are completely minimal and you need to move on with your freaking life.
Well said. Yeah, I feel like cancel culture is maybe they just need to look in the mirror themselves because we're not all perfect.
We aren't. God didn't create us to be perfect.
That's a fact.
It's all about the experience. So my buys, well, we'll end on a high note here. For at least my own term, I have two. I actually have two.
Okay.
So my first buy is family time. So this past weekend, I got a random text from my father asking if we were able to hang out this weekend. Very not unorthodox, but it was just very random out of the blue. And I was like, yeah, I said, we'll be here in the area this weekend. Jenna will be up. I'm like, okay, cool. And long story short, there was a lot of miscommunications and a lot of things. And I'm like, look, I said, we are getting takeout and we are staying at my apartment. No questions. I will buy a 30 pack of Miller Lite and we'll just stay here. But it actually turned out to be the best night. And like, Matt, you know, I typically don't host a lot of people. You know, I obviously host Jenna every other weekend, and you know, on the occasion you will come to the house, but like I don't ever host anybody, and it was just nice to just stay at the house. You know, put the 30 pack out in the snow to freeze it and to cool it, chill it, and bring it back in, and you had all cold Miller Lite. We got takeout, we got pizza. I haven't had this pizza in about 5 years, I think. But it's actually just like right down the street from where I live. But it just was nice. It was really nice. And, you know, the great thing is we didn't have to drive. I got the beer and I got the pizza. And then by the time we were home, I did not have to leave my place. So family time.
I love family time. Whether it's best, whether it's just your parents and brothers and sisters, or you know, you get the whole family, aunts, uncles, cousins all together. I love a good family time.
I took a picture. I don't think my parents saw it, but I took a picture of both my parents sitting on the couch. It's like a stitch in time. It's kind of like a memento. I wish mom was kind of moved over a little bit, but I gotta send you this picture. It's really funny. So yeah, I'll buy family time. And my last one, Matt, is I want to buy Ludwig Göransson. Matt, do you know who
streamer?
that? No. Don't even know a Ludwig Göransson.
His name is Ludwig. I didn't know what his last name was.
Take another wild guess who this person is.
Literally no idea.
So Matt, he is the songwriter for both The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett main theme songs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Banger.
Matt, you're on episode 1 of Boba Fett.
I've watched one episode, correct.
You need to keep going, because I just finished episode 5 before I got here, and wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That good?
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it for you, because my heart. Like I like
you just gotta stop talking.
Yeah, I gotta stop talking, but let me talk about the songs.
Please do.
I love the Book of Boba Fett, and I think I like it a little bit more than the Mandalorian theme song. The theme songs. But like, dude, when I like just need like time, like, well, actually not unwinding, like when I want to hype myself up, it's funny. Like, I think last week when I was doing a solo stream, I think you had something going on. I actually put on noise canceling headphones. I think I turned it up as loud as I could without it. What do you call it? Without it like actually hurting my ears. Mm-hmm. I just sat here. I just closed my eyes and just listened to that theme song. Oh, I like get chills just thinking about it. Like it is that good. But I think I reviewed some of the comments from like the YouTube comments from I want to read one. Some of the comments from the Book of Boba Fett, like the theme song, and oh good, I was able to stop that. So it said, where is this? John Williams composed with fear. Ludwig Göransson intends to compose with respect. LOL. JK. Seriously. Gosh, it was just like something about yeah, Ludwig Göransson in 2019 writes an epic theme for a Star Wars show. Ludwig Göransson in 2021. Want to see me do it again?
Yeah. It's crazy. They're so good. And like every Star Wars show, movie just has like great music. I don't know how they do it.
I got to give a lot of credit to Jon Favreau and his company of directors, because I know it's more than one. They hit the nail on the head with keeping with the lore and the themes of the Skywalker saga. And it just feels so right, and it feels so good. Yeah, Book of Boba Fett, Ludwig Göransson, but it's not with a Y, it's with a Goransson, in case you get confused. That's why I wanted to look it up, because I was going to say Goransson and be uncultured swine. So
Yeah, no, this is fantastic music.
Okay, I'm done. Matthew, your turn.
Yes, I have two of each. First off, I'm going to buy football because we just had the greatest weekend of football, professional football, in the history of football. It was awesome. Should they change the overtime rules? Yes. Will they? I hope so. But just a crazy weekend of football. You had 3 games and in a walk-off field goal. And then the Bills Chiefs was maybe the greatest game in the history of football.
Did you see that the walk-off field goals were timed the same in game clock?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was insane.
You can't make that up. You can't.
It was the greatest weekend of football in the history of Earth. It was insane. I'm going to buy yoga.
Really?
So with the colonoscopy,
I'm going to say, just before you go, I sent Matt a tweet, everybody. Matt, you should just open it and just read it to yourself.
I just saw this tweet. Can I read it out loud?
No. Oh, you just saw it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I was gonna bring that up at some point, but I forgot. But we'll keep that between us.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So buying yoga. So with a colonoscopy, you have to get creative in ways that you can, pass some gas afterwards, because with the colonoscopy, there's a lot of air inside you, so you got to get it out. And they recommend doing yoga to help. And it helps. It's
Downward
weird.
dog, baby.
Yeah. No, it's weird. I actually called my doctor the day after, because I was just uncomfortable, didn't really know what to do. She recommended some yoga poses to do. Now, those didn't really help, but a majority of them did. And something you don't think about, you think yoga is like stretching the body, but it's good for a lot of things.
So I hear you plan on doing more yoga, or?
Maybe. I like yoga. Yoga's fun.
Maybe we should do that during an episode.
A yoga episode? Like it's our own YouTube video.
Matt and I have all these crazy ideas. We want to try to do a live podcast when we golf. We then want to do yoga. What's next? We all want to I was gonna say do drugs, but that's
no, absolutely not. No way. Related to my colonoscopy, I am selling colonoscopy prep. Was not fun this year, folks. So for those that don't know, you cannot eat, no matter what your prep is, whether it's pills or liquid or whatever, no matter what, when you get a colonoscopy, you can't eat anything the day before. So I went a full almost 40 hours without food, because my appointment was not until early in the afternoon on a Monday. So that Sunday I couldn't eat anything. I had to drink so many liquids. I not only got cleared out, but I threw up from my prep just because my stomach couldn't take any more liquids, and I wasn't done. It was awful. Yeah, prepping for a colonoscopy is hands down the worst part about a colonoscopy.
Yikes.
Yeah. No, it was not fun. People don't realize how much it sucks to go a full day without food. We always say I'm starving. You don't know starving until you've prepped for a colonoscopy.
Or you're stranded somewhere, lost in the woods or something like that.
Right. Yes, it's bad. I'm also going to sell the Baseball Hall of Fame. What are we doing?
Go ahead, explain it, Matt.
So for those that don't know, this week they announced the Hall of Fame inductees for the Pro Baseball Hall of Fame. David Ortiz was the only one inducted. I'm not saying David Ortiz is not a Hall of Famer. My issue is that this was the last year for Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens, and they did not get in because they were linked to steroids, which I think is total bullshit, because you cannot tell the history of baseball without Barry Bonds or Roger Clemens. You can't do it. And yes, they took steroids, but there's a lot of guys in the Hall of Fame that have bad reputations and aren't good people and probably have done stuff that we don't even know.
I would love to see. I know, Matt, you've been to Cooperstown. I'm guaranteeing you. Yeah, you saw.
Yeah,
you saw Mariano Rivera.
Saw Mariano's. I'm actually wearing the induction T-shirt right now. I believe. I didn't even plan this actually.
That's
yeah,
funny.
I am. Yeah.
You know something we didn't plan either. This is the second time. Sorry, I had to say this in the middle of it. This is the second time I've had to record a podcast after listening to On Eagle's Wings.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm down. That's a banger.
Raise me up on Eagle's Wings.
Yeah, absolute banger.
I had a service today, and I'm like, dear Lord. I'm like, literally. It's like, this is literally the second time I've had to be at a service, listen to the song, and then knowing that I have to be with Matt at a podcast.
Yeah, it's a banger.
Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, how can you're right, Matt. How can you talk about the history of baseball? Like, you can always talk about stolen bases. You can always talk about no hitters. You can talk about Cy Young, the guy who literally gets an award named after him. But like, you're just going to omit Barry Bonds being the most home runs by one person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you can do that. Like, steroids or not.
Right. So there's a few things. Number one, steroids are bad. Yes.
Yes.
The steroid era saved baseball. Like, baseball was a dying sport. Barry Bonds made it really interesting. Like it or not, they did. Number two, if you're not going to put him in the Hall of Fame, then take away his home runs. Like, don't acknowledge him that he has the most home runs in baseball if he's not in the Hall of Fame. And number three, Mike, this is just an asinine stat that I'm about to say. The all-time leader in hits, Pete Rose. The all-time home run leader, Barry Bonds. And Roger Clemens has the most Cy Youngs in baseball history. All three of those guys are not in the Hall of Fame. What are we doing? What are we doing? Honestly, we need to look at the voting process too, because 75% of the vote is needed to get in. Barry Bonds got 66% and Roger Clemens got 65%. In what world, when you get over 50%, like, what happened to majority rules? If half of the voters think that you're a Hall of Famer, you should be a Hall of Famer. 75% is insane. And also, while we're on it, David Ortiz did test positive for steroids. That is a thing. So just because he's a likable guy, he gets in? Bullshit.
Cancel culture.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. Are we surprised? No, but
I was taking a look, Matt, because obviously I knew the stat. Like, Barry Bonds is the number one person with career home runs. And the next one's Hank Aaron, correct? At number 2.
Yep.
And then Babe Ruth, number 3. And then A-Rod's at 4.
Yep.
And
this was his first year on the ballot, and I believe he got like 35%, so he's not even close.
So we're being a Yankees fan, both Matt and I, you're gonna allow A-Rod to be, like, if you can't allow these people who have taken steroids to be on a ballot, I also think the Baseball Writers Association shouldn't be voting. Because it is such a minimal group that allows to make these almost life-changing decisions. And I really think it really should be a fan vote. My humble opinion.
See, I disagree with that just because, like, I look at the fan vote for the All-Star game in the NBA.
Yeah, it's true.
And Klay Thompson's played like 4 games and he got more votes than Devin Booker and Chris Paul. It's like, what are we doing here?
Maybe, okay, let me back this up. Maybe that could be like the first round, and then like the second round could be, I don't know. Like,
I think it should be players and coaches, play in the league, executives. We should not let writers who complain about not having tuna salad in the press box be the ones that vote in Hall of Fame. Because one, all the writers are old. They don't care. They brag. First of all, they brag about not voting for Barry Bonds. Screw you, dude.
Yeah, screw
I
you.
mean, what are you bragging about just because you think a guy shouldn't be in? There's another guy who 2 of the past 3 years has submitted a blank ballot. You should not have a vote. If you submit a blank ballot, You should not have a vote.
You're not
let
even
alone
doing
do
your
it 2 times in
job.
3 years. You're not doing your job. What are we doing here? You're morons.
Especially that dipshit that voted no for Derek Jeter in the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Oh, God. Imagine being that guy.
Yeah, imagine being that guy.
Jesus, couldn't do it. Yeah, so there needs to be a new process. Now there is a chance they can get in with like there's another ballot they can get put on like years down the road. There's things of Barry Bonds and things of Pete Rose and things of Roger Clemens in Cooperstown.
Yep.
But we can't put them in the Hall of Fame. Ridiculous. And I've said this story before. I'll say it again. When I went to visit Cooperstown to watch Mariano's ceremony, do you know who was signing autographs in one of the stores outside?
Was it Barry?
It was Pete Rose.
Pete Rose. I remember you saying that in an episode.
So we can have him in Cooperstown the day of the ceremony, but he can't be in. It's only baseball.
Yeah. Stupid.
You
know who I blame?
Yeah. Who do you blame?
Rob Manfred.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Just seems like every time it's always the commissioner and it's him. That's it.
Go for it. No. Go off, King. Let's also continue to go off. Let's get into a little Take It. I think we're gonna enjoy this conversation.
Can't wait.
So I love food, Mike. We both love pizza. What's the best pizza topping?
I hate you, Matt. Pineapple. No, I'm just kidding.
I do enjoy hot take. I enjoy pineapple on a pizza.
I know you do.
Yeah.
See, this is tough because, you know, I love buffalo chicken pizza, but that's a specialty pie.
Correct.
Like okay, so if that is the case,
we can get into specialty pies, but let's first dive into the best pizza topping.
Pepperoni. You cannot go wrong with a pepperoni pizza.
I think the pepperoni overpowers it. I think I like pepperoni pizza. It's not going to be my first choice just because I think the pepperoni overpowers it too much. Like I like a topping that like you can still taste like the cheese and the sauce and the crust and the topping. I feel like every time I just eat like a piece of pepperoni pizza, the pepperoni's a little too oily and like it just overpowers the whole pizza as a whole.
I remember when I had my first pepperoni pizza. It's life-changing because me being me being a picky eater, I started out with plain pizza and where they're like, oh yeah, like just try a pepperoni pizza. And I never went back since. And then the next generation came along and it was a buffalo chicken pizza and I'm set for life. So
right. Yes. We'll dive into specialty.
What about you, Matthew?
Yeah, it's tough because I like a lot. Bacon's a good choice. Chicken is a very good choice. Just like chicken on a pizza. So mine is technically two different ones, but they go together. And this is a hot take because I don't think a lot of people love it. Peppers and onions on a pizza. Because again, it's just a little bit of flavor to the pizza.
Now, would I personally get a pizza like that? No. But I can understand because when we make our pizzadillas, Jenna likes barbecue chicken and then red onion. Yeah, red onion and peppers. And like it's a really good taste. Like I can't deny it's a really good taste, but I don't know, man. I feel like pepperoni is just like a staple. Like it's pizza time. Like besides plain pizza, what's the second pizza that comes to your mind if you're thinking about it in your head? And it's probably pepperoni.
Probably, yeah. That's a fact. Yeah. I feel like I'm in the weird majority of like I'm in the middle with pepperoni pizza. I feel like most people either love it or hate it. Like you either love pepperoni pizza or like you're like, oh, I'm not eating that.
I agree with you because, you know, pizza It's funny. Pizza is one of those things that you think everyone in America should like.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just talk about pizza in general. Some people really like pizza and other people don't. And that's okay. But it's so funny how we Americanized it so quickly that, like, I don't know, like some people that are a little stupid think that, pizza originated in America. Oh, wrongo.
That's why I want to go to Italy so bad. So I can just eat pizza and drink wine for like 2 weeks.
And buy water because water's bad there.
Right. So let's dive into specialty pizzas.
Can I guess yours?
Go for it.
Chicken bacon ranch.
That's a good guess.
No.
That's in the top 3.
Okay. I was gonna say margarita pizza for some reason, but I'm gonna say no to that. It is?
That's my number 2.
That's your okay. Oh my god.
You're on a roll.
Damn. What have I seen you have that you really, really like?
Margarita pizzas are just phenomenal.
The chicken bacon ranch, like that obviously was a pizza you asked me to get when we were here the one night when we were here at my apartment doing a show. Like
it's such a good combination. If it's made right. I've had chicken bacon ranch pizza that's not great. You do have to prepare it correctly.
Meat lovers.
Yeah. Wow.
That's it?
Look at you. Yeah. Holy shit.
Here's the thing. I had to think back to the very first show when you said, "You ever been to Mod Pizza?" Then you listed every single thing that was on that Meat Lovers pizza.
Yeah. Meat Lovers pizza is the best. Because who doesn't love meat? And you get 4 types of meat on a pizza. That's like every guy's dream.
Yeah, I do like Meat Lovers pizza. Like if I don't see a buffalo chicken pizza, I typically will go for a Meat Lovers because you get everything, and like it's a lot. Like you said, it's a lot of meat, but like it's a lot. It's thick with like 3 C's, man. It's pretty chunky. Where you take a nice big bite, like you're kind of eating a little bit more than just pizza.
Yeah, that's why it's the best. What do you think of this theory that I have? So we know Dave Portnoy does his pizza reviews.
Yes,
but
everybody knows the rules.
Right, he always does cheese pizza. My theory is I think that's a genius move for him because if you can't make a good cheese pizza, I'm not trying any other pizza you have. Now I'm not saying every time I go to a restaurant I'm going to get a slice of cheese pizza if it's the first time I've had them. But if I do like choose a cheese pizza and it's my first time having your pizza and it's bad, I assume every other pie you make is garbage.
It's kind of like making an egg. Like if you can't make like scrambled eggs, like if you can't cook an egg.
Yeah, that's fair.
Or almost it's like if you can't boil water, that's like the same significance. Like if you can't boil water, like you can't do anything good. But oh god, what's another comparison, like a base? Nah, I can't think of it.
Yeah, that's tough. But yeah, I think if you need to learn how to cook if you want to be a pizza chef. Learn to cook a good cheese pizza and then experiment.
Well, and then you can always build on top of that. Like you don't have to, like, yeah, if your specialty pizzas like always taste the best and then your cheese pizza, you're probably not going to get great. We're talking business here. You're probably not going to get a lot of customers because majority of people may just want to go with a plain pie because sometimes you're ordering it for your family. Sometimes you're ordering it for a group of people you don't know well about. Like you can base your decision off of just buying plain cheese pizza because a majority of people will eat the cheese pizza. And no one will be like, I want Meat Lovers or I want margarita. Like, people are just content with just plain pizza. Like if it's for the masses. But yeah, Meat Lovers, bacon, sausage.
Well, ham,
pepperoni,
ground
beef,
salami. I love salami on pizza.
I'm trying to remember if I've had it anywhere on it. I think so.
I usually get it when I go to Mod Pizza now. So let me one more question thrown at you. Where is the best place? So with pizzas you've had, what's the best specialty pizza you've ever had? Whether it's just a single slice or a whole pie, the place, what kind of pizza was it? I'll go first. I'll let you think. Every time I go to visit some friends in New Jersey, we always go to Brooklyn Square.
Okay.
It's in
Brooklyn.
no, it's not in Brooklyn. It's actually in is not Lakewood. I can't think of the name of the place of the town. They make this pizza. It's a square. It's called an upside down pie.
Okay.
Now, Dave Portnoy reviewed the upside down pie. The one I'm talking about, he gave it
Yes.
8.9.
Wow.
Like, it is the best pizza. It's just like cheese on bottom, sauce on top, but it's like a square and it's like thick. Oh, I could eat the whole pie. It is the best, hands down, the best pizza I've ever had in my life. And every time I go to Jersey, I'm like, can we go to Brooklyn Square? Like, I need it. I need to have it.
Yeah, God, I'm so sorry, Matt. I'm like, I'm drawing a, there we go. Drawing a blank. So there is a place near Jenna's place, that I think
where she is now.
Yeah, where she is now.
Okay.
There is this place that's called the Stone House, which
is this the wood fired?
It's wood fired pizza.
Mm-hmm.
I got a buffalo chicken wood fired pizza, and I had an IPA right next to it, a local IPA, mind you.
Oh, the best.
And like Jenna, like again, the pizzadillas, like Jenna and I typically, we've told my parents because they're like, well, maybe if you want to like go something close to you or like wherever you want to go, that's great. And like I sit there and I'm like, Jenna and I practically are never at the same restaurant twice. Like this is something, I think she knows this. This is something that if we were able to go to all the time, I would. It's so balanced. It's so good. It's not overpowering. It's got a kick to it. And I was in pizza heaven, my friend. Like, I was just so good. So good.
Wood fired pizzas really are the best.
Do you ever have coal fired?
I don't think so. Have you?
No, I have. I think I have.
Is it all right?
It's okay. You definitely do taste a little char. Is that the correct thing? Yeah. A little char. Mm-hmm. So
interesting. I don't know if I would like that.
Yeah.
It's probably an acquired taste.
It's an acquired taste.
Put it in fancy terms.
So yeah, it's good. It's so good. But yeah, that's my best pizza experience I've ever had.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with a good buffalo chicken. My mom actually makes really good buffalo chicken pizza.
I love buffalo chicken, but I always love when you can dip it in blue cheese.
Oh, I'm more of a ranch guy.
I guess I split. Like I can dip it in ranch, I can dip it in blue cheese, but I'd much rather prefer blue cheese.
Really?
I mean,
see, dude, I can maybe do like the blue cheese dressing, but like blue cheese crumbles, can't do them. Hate them.
Yeah. But like, there's literally a pizza shop walking distance away from my apartment, and it's so good. Like with the blue cheese, like, it is that good. Now people are going to be look up buffalo chicken pizza with blue cheese near like just signs they can find me.
Yeah, you get a knock on your door.
Yeah. You want to go for pizza? It's like, I don't know you. I don't know you.
I'm in.
Yeah, but that's kind of like an underlying thing of being like, it's what do you call it? They want to like murder me.
Well, listen, if they're gonna murder you, at least you got some pizza out of it.
That's true. If they poison the pizza, it's the best pizza I've ever had.
It's a good way to go.
Oh, dude, I just ate and now I'm hungry again.
I'm starving.
I'm trying to crank out like everything. I'm trying to edit the pod for tonight and all that. It's just but yeah, that's it. So, Matt, great discussion.
Absolutely.
Loved every minute of it.
It's another banger of an episode.
Another banger. And you should do some banging things, and you can follow us on all of our social media. You can find all of our social media at solo.to/funnybusiness. There you'll find all of our social media links, including our site, to quote read Matt's sign, buy our merch. There it is. I'm wearing some right now, some merch and dice. Yeah, it's all good stuff. Mr. Matthew.
Yeah.
What's your advice, pal?
My advice, let's take care of our bodies. Let's take care of our dry skin and lotion up. I've been having my knuckles have been like cracked from the cold and just like I don't know if I got like some like salt on them from like desalting like my steps and everything like that, or just wash my hands so much from going to the bathroom and trying to stay healthy. But my knuckles have been really dry, and lotion is really. I'm usually not a big lotion person. But just take care of your bodies. Let's put some lotion on those dry places of skin. Wash your face at night. Brush your teeth. Do the little things to stay healthy.
Working Hands, is that the cream that it is? Sponsor us if it is.
So.
It's literally, you guys would know once you see the cup or the jar, the cup. It's O'Keefe's. It's a green jar. That works wonders. I only have one at work. I need to have one for the house because my skin a little dry. It's a little dry. But yeah, dude, definitely exfoliation is all good. And like, yeah, it's that time of the year where your lips get chapped. You're just everything. It's just
it's like, not fun.
You feel it, and you're like, I really don't want it. Like,
we're almost there, people. We are almost at spring,
which is scary because the winter in our area and your area has not been as crazy as last year's.
Knock on wood.
If you heard that, yeah, because I'm just waiting for it. Like, yeah, I'm just waiting for the next couple months, like for it to just, just like it was back in our junior year of college when we had that snowstorm that we got completely off all week of school.
Yeah, that was great. It was March Madness weekend.
Very unprecedented. That was for sure.
That was the best. That was the best week of college in my life, solely because I did not leave the townhouse and we just watched college basketball for the whole weekend. It was awesome.
We watched college basketball. We trekked up to the cafeteria to get food all the time. I
think we were outside shoveling our cars for like 3 hours because there's just nowhere to go with the snow.
That we were helping each other out. Do you remember that? Like the entire townhouse complex was helping each other out because some people have 2-wheel drive and then others have all-wheel drive. But everybody was pushing cars and shoveling each other out. Like, oh, it's fabulous.
It's good community bonding.
Yeah, good community bonding and good townhouse bonding on top of that too. So, yeah, get some lotion. Whatever you want to use it for.
And a little bonus advice.
Oh.
Have a good weekend, everybody. Let's have some fun this weekend.
Yes. Thank you for reminding me, Matt. I want to make sure I say this on the podcast before next week. Matt, guess what?
Yeah. What?
The following week of this show being aired, Jenna and I will have been together for 3 years.
Wow.
Right?
That's crazy.
3 years.
Time flies, dude.
Right? I can't believe it. Like, I mean, I can, but I can't. Like,
right.
It feels like just yesterday. Like I was talking to him, like, dude, I don't know what to do. I'm kidding. I knew exactly what I wanted to do.
Right. Good way to play it off.
Yeah. So yeah, happy 3 years to Jenna, one of our very recurring listeners on the podcast. And yeah, Matt, when's your year coming up?
October. I think technically 6 months, which is kind of a milestone.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. We will be in Disney.
Yes.
Which would be cool.
In April. With April.
In April with April. Correct.
I don't know if you ever realized it when you were talking about it to me the first time. You're like, oh yeah, we're going in April. And I'm going with April.
It can get confusing.
Yeah, for April 21st.
Yeah.
So it's all fun and games, but you just got to make the best of it.
Absolutely.
So. And until the next time, We'll see you all in the next episode.
Stay safe, everyone.